So this weekend was the release for both the Marvel Tokon beta and the Avatar Legends fighting game alpha. So with both of these betas releasing during the same time frame, we're getting a lot of fighting game creators trying out both games, and obviously with both being fighting games and what it looks like different levels of fighting games, we're getting a lot of critiques thrown back and forth between Marvel Tokon and Avatar Legends. Now, from my perspective, I'm seeing a lot of people that love Avatar Legends just completely crap on Marvel Tokon, which I can understand from a certain perspective. Now, this isn't going to be a video of my full thoughts on Avatar Legends. I wanted to save that for after the beta weekend is over so I could get a full feel of the entire game and what they have to offer for right now. But currently, it's kind of hard to not talk about one fighting game without mentioning the other. And I do want to give Avatar Legends its right to be talked about as its own thing and not having to compare Marvel Tokon next to it while talking about this specific game. But recently I saw that Maximilian Dude talked about how much he enjoys Avatar Legends way more than Marvel Tokon. And me, on the other hand, I completely feel the opposite, where I really like Marvel Tokon and I was just having such a hard time with Avatar Legends.
I don't want to rag on like Tokon a lot, but obviously Avatar is really fun. Avatar's like a fighting game, dude. Tokon is trying to be something else. And I think that's pretty clear from the majority of people that have like played it, where some people can be really into it. And then some people, a lot of like general people that play fighting games are kind of bored by it.
I will say, as a casual fighting game player, Avatar Legends is very hard to learn. And I say this as someone who's played a bunch of different fighting games. A lot of these recent fighting games obviously appeal to new audiences. A lot of things are very easy to learn. There's a lot of auto combos and so forth. Avatar Legends, on the other hand, has maybe one auto combo. As someone who plays on controller, just likes playing random fighting games, going into Avatar Legends was very painful to learn and very demoralizing, especially in the beginning. The game itself at this current moment, looking at the command list is like looking at some ancient text that you will never be able to understand. As someone who's very casual with playing fighting games, I'll show a screenshot of what the command list looks like, but it is just very confusing for someone who's normally, when you look up command lists, you can see what buttons correlate to which and different training modes. Hopefully that stuff is added into the game later on, which I'm pretty sure it would be. I'm just saying, as a casual getting into this game, it is very hard to try to figure out how to play the game. In my opinion, when playing these type of fighting games, it's better to learn when you're actually fighting someone. And so far in the alpha, you can just do training where you're fighting against something that doesn't hit you back. And the only way for you to get that one-on-one experience is to either have a friend you know who's also in the alpha do matches with you, or you just play online. The thing with playing online is that obviously people who are in the FGC community who really understands how these buttons are set up, light, medium, heavy, A, B, C, D, who fully have a grasp on what they're doing, can easily understand how the game works. As someone who's just playing, you're trying to figure out what the big bar means to the little bar and spending like 2 hours to find out that these are all follow-up attacks, just trying to learn how the game works in general. So as a new player, you go to try to find an online map to try to get somewhat familiar with what your character can do and aspects of it, just to kind of immediately just get rolled by obviously more advanced people that understand how the game's mechanics work. And I'm pretty sure that the game appeals more to the veteran audiences who are used to think-based fighting games where you actually have to put in commands instead of all of the auto combos that we've been getting in recent games. So I can understand why Max, on the other hand, would enjoy playing Avatar Legends over Marvel Tokon. But I will say that it will definitely be the other way around for someone who isn't that experienced in Avatar Legends combat system and likes the more free auto, more hand-holdy aspect of Marvel Tokon. So far, obviously, as a new player, alpha, beta, queue of people you're going to be matched with is going to be very small based on who got into the alpha. So as a new player, you're trying to learn how to play, you get into a match and you just get rolled like 100% of the time, and you don't know how to play the game, so you're getting more confused on how the game actually works, while at the same time getting like frustrated because you just don't understand how any of these systems are played. At this current moment, I'm enjoying Avatar Legends, but when I first started playing, I was getting frustrated because everything was just confusing and I didn't understand how anything worked. There was nothing that really explained to me how it worked. I kind of have to figure it out on my own. And also during that time, it was the first full day that Avatar Legends was released to the public, and it just felt like everyone that I was playing against fully understood the entirety of the combat system, the flow states, everything, and I was just trying to figure out how to use my super at that point. But what I'm trying to say is that, for example, Maximilian, he prefers Avatar Legends over Marvel Tokon as a veteran player who's been playing fighting games for years, while me on the more casual side enjoys Marvel Tokon more than Avatar Legends. But at the same time, since both of these games have been out for this 3-day weekend, I have been playing Avatar Legends more than I have been playing Marvel Tokon. I believe that that is because with Marvel Tokon, you kind of figured out how everything works. If you found your main, especially from the last beta that came out, you know how they play in a match. You maybe picked up a new character, figured out how they play in the match, you know what works. There's not much for you to experiment with. Whereas in Avatar Legends, a lot of these moves are stuff that you're able to do. There's maybe one auto combo and everything else is just moves that you can do with a bunch of different follow-up attacks. So it really expands how much you can learn about the game. Now, as me, someone who is very frustrated with his first introduction with the game, I'm learning how to play it where I know what certain moves do and I know how to perform certain moves repeatedly. But that's something that I had to learn by playing the game over and over again and trying to figure out what works and what doesn't. So I would say that Avatar Legends has more of a reason to come back to it, whereas right now with Marvel Tokon, once you know how the game works, you're literally just hopping in a match to just try to win some matches. You're not really trying anything new, which is still fine because I do enjoy Tokon more than Avatar Legends, but I do feel like Avatar Legends has more to dig into to find more in how the combat works and stuff. So I do think that both are equally good, and it's fine to have a favorite, but I do feel like with Avatar Legends, it is such a steep skill ladder where I do feel like if there aren't any proper training modes or combo trials that are added into the game when the game fully launches, and certain settings to make it easier for new players to understand what buttons they're supposed to press, that you're going to get a list of just people who understand the game and then people who don't. And the people that don't understand the game are not going to have a great time. That's pretty much all I have to say. I feel like I've been yapping for a lot, which was not on purpose. I thought this was probably going to be like a YouTube short or something, but I do want to say I appreciate you for watching. Let me know your thoughts. That was just something I've been curious about and what I've been thinking about since I saw that Max talked about how he felt with Avatar Legends, and that me as like a casual fighting game player had the exact opposite reaction when I tried it out. So I just thought that was interesting. Let me know what you think. I will be dropping a full Avatar thoughts video whenever the beta is fully done. I might do another stream on Sunday, which is today. So if you watch this video while I'm live, say hi. If not, there'll be a VOD for you to watch if you're ever curious. Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for watching. We are at 601 subscribers. Appreciate you guys. Really appreciate it. Have a good one. Goodbye.